One, check one. Hi. Okay. Hello, everybody. How you doing? See who we have here. Let's get this someplace where I can actually see it. Hi, Liz. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Ryan. How you doing, bud? Good to see you. Jenny, there you are. Hi. Oh, nice to see you, Cindy. How's everybody doing today? This is going to be a little bit of a shorter one today because I've got a lot more work I have to do here. But I'm taking a break to come online and do some thinking about this project and make some decisions about my next steps. I've really been focused on part 1 and 2 and trying to figure out where this thing is going. This is Tahoe. And I think I got a much better picture of the ending of part 2 now built to work with. So essentially what really is the, so we call it a motif. It's a invention or an idea like this. Hang on. Okay, so we call these things motifs, and there's 3 or 4 different things that push the motif of Tahoe around and give it life and give it character and warmth and things like that. Hi, DGD. How you doing? Hi, Alice. How are you? Connie. Nice to see you. Sitting in my winter jacket. Oh, well, I'll live. Oh, geez. I'm sorry to hear that. Power cut out. Heavy snow. Yep, that happens when the snow gets heavy. I'm listening while my students are working on stuff. Oh, that's pretty cool. Cindy, why don't I recall you being a teacher? I try to remember everything, but I fall short. Sorry. That's pretty cool, Cindy. All right. So the main motif of this track is so you're familiar with the piano singing that melody. But in this track, we also have something that sounds like this. And at one point, we have this guy. See if this is going to cooperate. Get a little louder here so you can hear. So you hear that several different ways in this track as it unfolds from the beginning, from this very emotional state that it begins in. Before we get into part 3, I'm going to create a moment here where the whole group is saying it to you now. You know, this is the kind of way this message is being shared. You hear it from one place, then you hear it from another. And these are solo instruments, right? You hear it from another. And it builds up to this moment where you have a symphony orchestra going and saying this to you now. And they're not smacking you with it when it comes in. It's basically 50 people saying, it's a special moment that I like to do sometimes when I'm creating music like this. And love the sound layers, love the new sound. Hey, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. I love that you're all here. Thank you for being with me. It's awesome that you're here. So, let's take a listen, okay? Let's take a listen. Everybody, welcome and just relax. Take a load off. Hang on a second here. I'll turn it up so you can hear it. So the main theme hasn't started yet. This is introductory, setting a stage. And here comes the answer. The strings are saying it. There it is. It's called a string choir. Electric slide guitar. Now it's saying it. Saying it again. Oh, look. Here comes the piano. Okay, so okay. So right now, see how when the orchestra turns around and says that together as one, it makes us have a sense that we're moving together, right? In a direction. That there's a tremendous amount of purpose in the expression. And it's an experience. Creating an experience here is really what I'm doing. What I'm trying to do, anyways. By listening to what the music is telling me to do. You know, I do try some things. I do try some experiments. I do have some what if moments. And I'm kind of, that's what is here that has helped me find this stronger ending to part 2. Hi, Charlotte. How you doing? Let me see here what's going on here. Hall, I'm sorry you're having a rough morning. Hopefully it's smoothing out. Very sorry to hear that. Okay. So, here we are. That's the horn of that part, then it has a counterpart. And then it has power in the low end. That's what's giving that tremendous strength, is the trombones and the tubas in the bottom of it. Here they come. That's what brass can do. And it can do a lot more than that. So this is a transformation of energy, and every little thing, every little nuance of that either adds or pushes in a different direction or something. So I try different things that I hear in my head. Some of them work, some of them don't. Stand by. The print on this is so tiny as to be ridiculous. Oh, sorry. That hurt me worse than it hurt you. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear Lisa's having a hard time there. But I think the igloo and the hot tub are safe right now, and that's what's important, is that nothing's getting damaged, so hopefully everything's all right there. Just one little nuance at a time, you know? That thing right there is one of those things where I can control how much of an impact I want that to have. Hear that? Now listen for that down inside of there. Hold on. Here we go. Bring that down a little bit. Not so intense. You know, just come up here on the sampler engine itself and pull it down on the main. Just go like this. I want it to blend in, gently push through. Listen to that at that volume. Here it is without it. Here it is with it. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Shoot. There you are. How's everybody doing? Good to see you all. Thanks for joining me. This is wonderful that you're here. I'm just in my studio work mode. Hi, Michelle. How you doing? Glad you love it. Fun, fun, fun. All right. Let me listen to this again now. Bye-bye, Cindy. Thanks for stopping in. So that is going to be an area of this whole thing, which is going to be designated as the payoff of part 2. And I think that is fixing to be the biggest sound in that whole part. You're just seeing a flicker of what this thing is going to be. This is where things are going to start singing. Sorry, the volume's so low. Need to set a couple of benchmarks here, I think, as far as what's what here and what's going in which direction. So I think that okay, so that horn is working as hard as a horn can work. And as an experiment, I'm going to probably try to shift this a little bit into the hands of a trumpet. Trumpet, just like every other instrument of the brass world, is capable of quite a range of intensity. And start here by doing a side-by-side comparison between the horn and the trumpet is probably what I'm going to do. So I've created a trumpet line here. And we're going to call that TRPT1. Move him up. Let's give him the proper designation. Okay. I'm just going to grab the horn line itself and I'm going to copy and paste it, because I just want to listen to the sound of the trumpet. Oh, we need some sustain pedal on that. Okay. Okay, and that one, unlike the horn, it can get up to the F sharp. So let me hear where that happens. Let's start by doing that. I'm going to bring context back in now. I'm going to mute the horn. Stand by. Oops. Didn't it record my sustain pedal? Just in case. Right here. We're going to take that up to F sharp. Okay. Okay. I do believe that that is the natural conclusion, to where this is ending, is wanting to part 2 into part 3. This should be horn. Now the trumpet has to come in there, definitely. So what we're going to do is do a little bit of a trade-off here. I'm going to come back to the horn, and I'm going to say to the horn line, you do the first 3, but I'm going to take, that's weird that is doing that like that. Interesting. Odd behavior. Okay. I'm going to take the trumpet off the first 3 notes. I might put it back on. I don't know. Da 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 dee. So let the horn do that. Now I'm going to have them both in on this together. Doubled. Then it has to have power in the low end. So probably start. What I'm doing is I'm arranging this. We have the center line here. What's coming? Let's say. How could I show you this? Symphony's range is quite wide, all the way up here, all the way down there, right? When I come into a section like this and there's a little bit of a question mark in there, what I do is lean into the melody and I start wondering what the highest instruments are that are going to start off with that melody. Every single thing that you add to this pushes it a little bit harder in a further direction, and sometimes it could easily, very easily push you off purpose, right? So you got to, on one hand, juggle and experiment and be ready to accept failure, and get off something and get onto something else or whatever else. But the more you do this, the better you get at having a suspicion of what's going to happen when you do this or you do that, because you've done this so much, So sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes that's a bad thing. It can keep you locked in a box if you're not careful with that too. You gotta always. It's why I build randomness into my practice and my process, so that I'm not forcing myself down the same road day after day. It keeps this new, and it keeps it exciting. So what I've done, basically, after I just said all that, is I've defined where the high end is. Now I'm going to define where the low end is in this thing. And I'm going to start probably with a tuba. I think this is my tuba, and I didn't rename it yet. Yep. All right, let's rename you tuba. Melancheck. Melancheck. So you're going to be the tuba. Let's give you a nice, happy little icon. Bob Ross of music here. Happy little icon. Wind. Okay. Usually we call it brass, but they've got wind in there for that. Okay. Whatever. Let me see here. Am I not getting any sound out of that? Let me figure out what's going on here. That's strange. There it is, but for some reason it's not. There it is. Okay. So let's grab this region and drag it over here somewhere. Copy it. I just want what's inside of it. It's going to be on a B minor where that tuba comes in. I got to fix that. Hang on. It's going to drive me crazy. All right. So what I need is a steadier tuba sound there. That is a portato sound, and that's not going to do it. I got to have something there that is rumbly and steady in the articulation department. So let's switch this to... Portatos are nice, but this is about steady power now. There's nothing uncertain about this anymore. Everybody knows who everybody is. Tubo solo articulations. This might sound a little rough at first until I get it into the proper frame of mind. Okay, yeah, that's nice and rumbly. a tuba creates. It's a really cool thing. I listen to the sounds of elephants in the low end frequency when they're signaling to each other, and the last thing you hear from an elephant when it's signaling to another elephant. Once it gets down below there, like especially with elephants, now it's starting to get way down, way down, way down. It keeps going further than that and further than that until you can't even hear it. It's beyond the spectrum of the human eardrum to pick up. Subsonic frequencies in a frequency range that is incapable of being registered by the human eardrum. This is why elephants are able to communicate with each other from almost 2 or 3 miles away, because those sound waves travel that far. That is a very low oscillating, low frequency wave. It maintains its energy, whereas high waves, they don't have that, you know. It's and it goes out over a distance. It must be amazing to be an elephant and hear that. So bass has sonic characteristics that are tricky. This, like Charlotte says, that's why you hear that out at sea. Or that sound wave frequency cuts. It gets out to you so you can hear it coming before you go into the bow of another ship on a foghorn. Oh, I'm sorry, Charlotte. There's going to be a little rattle in here for a minute. So we'll put this under here, and then we're going to pull it down, and it'll take on a different life form. I want to see what notes I want to use there, though. That in there. Now I'm going to control the intensity with which it is sending its love. So it comes in. It's going to get strong in the rumble department, but then I'm going to pull the volume back so it gets under the mix. You see? I'm playing with... Now we're at the biggest moment of the track. A little late. I'm going to adjust all the entrances of these notes so they're right on time, but that one's a little bit too late for even temporary. dozen boys. Okay. I'm going to be putting all kinds of sweeps in this. This is kind of editing that I do a little more behind closed doors because I have to work so fast when I do it that I'm just getting this in place for you so you can see the start of where this is going. It's going to drop out of there with grace. All right, now the overall volume level is a little bit of an issue, so I can take a look at that now. I've got it roughly into place. How loud do I want this to get? Hey, Melissa. How's it going? Nice of you to stop by here on the new account of Rooney. Good to see you. It's good to see all of you. Thank you so much for being here. So, now we got the melody and we have the bass in place. So there's some more clearer picture of what's going to happen in the middle voices in there. Right. Had some nice moments in it. Always surprises me. Never take it for granted. It's really weird sensation sometimes to sit back and watch this thing unfolding before your very eyes and realize it's happening with you or without you. You're not so much part of telling things what they need to do anymore. They tell you what you need to do, and that's it. Sit there and be still. Hands saying, yeah, shh, I got this. Well, that part 3 is going to be so much better. But we're almost done with part 2. This is really good today. So I'm going to finish up this brass section and this ending and sweeten it up so it's not bombastic. Yeah, when you start putting something together like that, you're listening to that and you hear that tuba under there and everything else, and it's lacking all the other voices in here. So you got two things on the outside looking at you going like this. Where's the middle of the sandwich? Sometimes music wants to do that. That's not one of those moments. So in that context, instruments are just getting to know each other in this ending of the part 2. Hey, Charlotte. How you doing? Hope you'll be back this evening. What time do we start tonight? Oh, yeah. 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Pacific. So I'm going to stay on for a couple more minutes. I'm supposed to do this for an hour when I do it. Fortunately, time flies. I'm starting to get more productive doing this too. I don't know if you've noticed, but it's the things that we're doing here are actually production edits that go into the actual track, which is, that was the goal I was looking for, right? Is to take what I can do in here and actually make it part of the track itself. This is really happening. So when you decide that you want to own this music that comes out of the studio, you were sitting here when I wrote the tuba line that's sitting in there when you're listening to it later on. So not all things are happening in front of your very eyes. There's some things that are happening. There's some times when I literally have to, how could I describe it to you? And I don't do this very much because it's got its bad aspects as well, but where I'm listening, move, listen, move, listen, move, listen, move, listen, change, listen, move, listen, pull, listen, pull, edit, really fast, I limit those types of sessions to about 20 minutes at a time because it can get really pedantic and it can damage the music very badly, right? This is why you see me using checklists. Speaking of which, here's what this project looks like right now. Here's many of the things which have happened over this past few days. And we got this done to creating a payoff. Well, that's happening right now. So we're still on this checklist. What has to happen in the ending of part 2 is that do an orchestration pass, and don't be afraid to double on woodwinds here. Woodwinds have been pretty absent from this production because they are, except the flute, which is kind of like in that family, is in there. But there's also oboe, clarinet, and bassoon and those things. They bring a character to an orchestration where they just kind of sit in the background and go pa, poo, or poo, down in the bassoon end, way down low. That weird instrument that has the spout coming out of it. It looks like a big wrapping paper tube underneath a person's arm. They sit with it like, they hold it like a baby like this, and it goes back this way. It's long, and it has this big spout that comes out on it. You know, the real low end. So I can't wait for you to have this track, Sharon. Thank you for being here. How you doing today, Sharon? Sharon is Karen. My friend. I'm glad you're here. Jenny, it's great to see you. I remember those in high school band practice. Yeah, right. So these are things that also, there's one called a contrabassoon. And what I'm going to do is pull that tuba back, and the contrabassoon and the tuba are going to get together like this. They're going to create vibration under there. That's all they're going to exist in this part. Right now, that tuba is pounded through there pretty hard. But when I get them in place, it's just going to make that bottom end move like this, so that you can feel it. This is something I want you to feel from, like you're floating in it for a moment, right? So these visualizations and these things that I come up with are how I get a real direction going here, where I'm not throwing everything at a, everything with the kitchen sink to try to get something to work. I'm going straight to where the purpose is, who wants to sing it, where's the magic at in this, the idea a lot of times is you want these instruments to work as little as possible. So such a nice treat this afternoon. Nice treat. Thank you, Liz. Thanks, Sharon, for being here. Thanks, Jenny. Thanks, Joyce. Thanks, Violet. It's great to see you. I appreciate your newest music videos. They're really awesome. Thanks for being here. I like how you're loving this track, too. It's nice, nice, nice. Charlotte, make sure you get some rest. Please. I know you know how to take care of yourself. You're an amazing person. Amazing, talented person. DGD and Joyce is here. Hall was here. Hi, Hall. Hope you're feeling better. I really, really do. Connie, nice of you to stop by. It's good to see you. Thanks for being here at the show. And Michelle. Nice to see you, Michelle. I don't know if you're still here or not, but I'm glad you came. Yeah. Alice, pretty good, pretty good. Good to see you, Alice. I can't wait to have my mead, by the way, that Trevor sent. I think about it every day. I'm glad Cindy was able to stop by. And Lisa, there you are. Hey. Are we going to have to get you a kayak there, or how's things going? I'm so glad that the igloo and the hot tub are not floating around back there. And the hot tub needs to be 103, by the way. How's your diet going, Jace? It's going good. I got back on it, and I've dropped like 3 pounds in 10 days. And that's not including the water weight. The water weight was 9 pounds before that, right? Well, 102 is great. So, yeah, I mean, I'd like to get down to around 210 pounds, see how that feels. Hang out there for a minute. I'm at 221. So, I'm 5'10", but the thing is I don't know, this camera doesn't kind of depict it very well, but I'm wide build, you know what I mean? So, I guess what you say, big bone frame, big bones. So I'm not like most 5'10" guys where I could be 190 pounds. I'm not fat, I'm big boned, Cartman says on South Park. Oh, you're almost there. Yeah, right on. I'm working on it. Hall, you just lost 30 pounds. Are you kidding? That's fantastic. Good for you. You must feel so much better. I'm happy for you. Thank you, Michelle. I feel pretty good. It's a weird trade-off. So I feel my best when I'm on the keto diet. I love being in ketosis. It makes me work sharper. I'm not sitting around hungry thinking about food because the natural state of ketosis is that you're living off of your body fat, so your brain kind of disconnects the hunger feelings after you get well into it. Maybe not the first week, maybe not the first two, but 10 days, 2 weeks of doing this, you'll notice you're not feeling hungry anymore. It's not uncommon for people to have to set alarms to remind themselves to eat, because with your body now living off the fat that's stored in your tissues and run on your frame, there's not much need to be sending you hunger signals all day. So I feel good when I'm on this diet, but man, I love chocolate. I love caramel popcorn. I basically love sugar. I'm an absolute sugar addict. So I go back and forth where I'll probably get 8 or 9 pounds off, and then a couple 3 weeks from now I'm going to have some spaghetti. Then I got to start this all over again. But the good news is it's kind of going like, I guess I should do it this way, and like that, and like that. I've lost over 40 pounds now, 45 pounds since I started doing this. So, well, I like to sit on the couch with a cup of ice cold milk, 2% milk, there's whole fat milk, and something chocolatey. Now, this could be like a cookie or something, and dip it in the milk and just sit there, and I'll eat that for like 20 minutes. It makes me really happy. Cookies and cake. That's how I put all that weight on, was doing that all the time. So I've had to accept that there's just certain ways I can enjoy things productively and not hate myself looking in the mirror. So I've had to change my eating habits, and it's really stuck. I mean, I don't know if you realize, but I've been doing this diet now for 9, 10, 11 months. This is like, it's been around for a minute, maybe even a year. I don't know. I know it took me every bit of 7 or 8 months to lose all that 42, 43 pounds. And that's because the first 15 or 20 on keto come off without any effort. Then it slows down to 5 a month, then it slows down to 3 or 4 a month, and 2 a month, 1.5 a month. It just, because I'm not really crushing it on the workout, and I'm not crushing it on the low calories. I'm still eating some calories, which is, anyway. Life is short. Eat dessert first. Violet, yes, I have. I do that all the time. I do. I make them all kinds of different ways, too. They're fun. Philadelphia cream cheese with, you're going to laugh when I say this. You take Philadelphia cream cheese and you put it in the microwave for 1 minute in a Pyrex cup, and it makes it nice and soft and mushy. Then you take like a tablespoon of strawberry jello, dry, and just dump it in there. Of course, this is unsweetened. Strawberry jello, and you stir it up real good, and you put it back in the refrigerator, and it tastes just like strawberry cheesecake. So you can even make yourself almond crust to run these little balls in. Almond flour crust is actually what I meant to say. So that you can roll them in that, and it almost has it's like a cheesecake bite. And that's another thing about keto is, I can get away with doing things really fast. I love to cook. I mean, I always have. I don't make a wide assortment of things, but I have a lot of different things that I make that I'm pretty darn good at. So, yeah, Joyce, you bet. They are tasty. You can do so much with this fat bomb idea with cream cheese. You can go the other direction. You can add things like, Mexican spices to it to make it like, a taco night-ish, whatever else. And you can take and add things that you would put, like cheddar cheese and things, and a little jalapeno and stuff like that. It doesn't have to be sweet either. So it's low-fat cream. You just use regular fat cream cheese on keto, Sharon. You would be on a keto diet, so you wouldn't be worried about fat in this particular case, but you could do it with low-fat cream cheese if that's what you want to do. I mean, why not, right? There's no rules. Yeah, we'll have Fat Bomb night. You bring the wine and I'll bring the fat bombs, but I can't drink the wine because I'm on keto. That's why I'm waiting. That's why I'm waiting to have some of Trevor's mead. Alice, our moderator, Alice, her husband, sent me a wonderful, lovely looking flask, whatever you want to call it, of mead. It's a bottle, I guess you would say, but it's a different kind of a bottle. It's corked and it's got this wonderful looking amber honey mead inside of there, and I guess it's made with peaches too, and it's very strong alcohol content probably. So you need to do a cooking show once a week, cooking with Jace. Well, I would start with chicken soup. It's one of my favorite things to make. I love making chicken soup. I love making chili. I love making meats and things like that, and pasta dishes and different kinds of things. So, all right. Well, hey, who's coming to Golden Hour tonight? Anybody coming to Golden Hour? We got any short shows? Me. Hey, all right. Hey, tri-tip's nice. I likes me some tri-tip. You know what I've been eating lately, though? Hanger steak. I take blue cheese. And if you don't like blue cheese, we're already off on a sour subject here, so please, I understand. But this is actually good if you like blue cheese. You get a quality blue cheese, like either Maytag or something similar. It's very rich. It's the best way you would describe that kind of blue cheese. Whereas some blue cheese is really sour, some of it's really pungent. Maytag is really rich. Stilton is another one. I like Stilton blue cheese. But you take it, and you take like probably about 2 ounces, maybe 1.5 ounces of it. And you put it in a Pyrex mix. You could saucepan if you want. Put it in a saucepan and heat it up and melt it down. And then you add some heavy cream to that. And then it helps if you have a nice rich beef stock. Like a homemade beef stock, but if you don't, beef bone broth will do or something, and you add that in there, and you can add some garlic powder in that, and some little bit of salt and some pepper, and it makes a incredibly rich butter. Don't forget that. An incredibly rich sauce for hanger steak and things like that have a real powerful flavor. Oh, is it good? It is so good. It brings out the flavor. I learned to make that from a chef. I had friends who were chefs. You see, when I was like 16, 17, 18 years old, I had my first gig playing in this restaurant at a ski resort. And there was a group of chefs up there that worked in that restaurant. We all became friends. So I would be back in the kitchen hanging out with them on breaks. The manager of the place gave up on me. He was funny. His name was Jim. He'd be like, okay, you back here eating again? I'm like, hey, I get 15 minutes every hour. He's like, roll his eyes, walk out. We were all friends. And there used to be this big mixer there, and it was called a Hobart. It was the name of the brand, and it was like a bread dough mixer. But this thing was huge. It was like this high and big, mounted bowl like this big. And they would take a napkin and throw it on top of the Hobart and hand me a plate. And the chef would be cooking something over there, talking to me, whatever else. And he'd just reach in with tongs, and he would grab whatever he's cooking, and he would put it up on my plate. And I would just sit there like this, eating. So he made that sauce one night, and I was like, oh, how did you do that? And he's like, okay, I'll teach you. First this, then this. This is so simple, So much of sauce making is so simple. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. I've got to get to work. Thanks for hanging out with me. I sure have had fun with you. Always brightens my day to spend some time with you. Indeed, every time. I'll hope to see you at Golden Hour tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Pacific. Okay? Have a good day. And may hard days get better for those of you who are, getting put through it today. Keep your chin up, okay? Hard times don't come to stay. They come to pass. I'll talk to you soon.